JP, another edition of Ask JP. This is like the second edition. We've only done this once. But you know what I want to start doing is I want to do this live, and folks can send me questions before and during these little live episodes, and we can cover some good ground, I think. It'll be a lot of fun, too. And you never know what I'm going to say. So that makes it extra exciting. So the first question is about how do you make acquisition goals or retention goals? You know, I've seen this happen a million times. First of all, don't leave it to your members or the board or the membership committee to determine what they are. Because I can tell you, well, here's what's going to happen, because I've seen it. Worked with an association a number of years ago, and the chairman of the board took over, and he declared what his goal for membership was 20,000 members. 20,000 members was the goal. But it was based on no facts. It was based on, I think they had 1,000 members at the time, maybe 3,000. Maybe the most they'd ever recruited ever was 500, right? So it was not based on any kind of premise of data or fact or industry standards or what the infrastructure was at the association to even be able to do it, right? So here's what I would do to kind of start setting those goals. Look at things like this. What is your existing renewal rate across your membership categories or your membership segments? Take a look at your past performance and how many new members did you bring in over the last 3 years. What are you capable of doing in the next 3 years? And what kind of assets and budgets and people do you need to do it? And then finally, fundamentally, what is your value proposition to grow? Does that need refinement? Does it need to be articulated better? Does it need to be differentiated with some of the other organizations that your members may be using, right? All that mix, that soup becomes what your membership goals should be. Shouldn't be just an arbitrary number pulled out by a very well-meaning volunteer that you're then going to be holding like a bag of you-know-what. You know, it's got to be based on something. So that's a little bit of the process or some of the facts that I would want to get in place before I begin to articulate what the membership goals should be for the next 3 years. And I'm all about aspirational. I'm all about bringing in more than you ever have. We do it for our clients all the time. But it's got to be based on some basis of validity, okay? Second is, how do we simplify or restructure our membership offerings? Yeah, so a lot of organizations, I see it right now, talking to one right now. If you wanted to join the association, the person in charge of recruitment could not tell you how much it costs. That really puts your salespeople or the folks in charge of membership recruitment at a major disadvantage. How much does it cost? You're going to get there sooner rather than later, and they go, well, don't know. It's based on your dues revenue. So what you need to do is you need to send it to our third-party operation or our secretly disclosed location, and they're going to take it and they're going to plug it into some kind of formula and kick it back to you. Not awesome. Not easy to go to market to. Not easy to sell for. So here's what I would recommend. And actually, we do this when we conduct some of these member dues reviews. First of all, I would do this. Go into your membership database and slot every member by their membership dues and their membership category. Often what we'll see is an association has 20 different membership tiers. The fact of the matter is 90% of them live in 3 of those. Once you see it, you get the opportunity to simplify those tiers so you can go to market. And you might, let's say, end up with 3 tiers. And in that case, you go, well, it's this much for this, it's this much if you're in this tier, and it's this much you're in this tier. And it's not a mystery. You're not waiting for some white smoke to come out of the papal, wherever they do that. I'm not Catholic, but I think there's something involved in that, right? You've got to have a methodology that's simple, because here's what happens. We have very little time. When we're having conversations about membership, it takes us somewhere between 8 and 10 contacts to close a membership deal. That means scheduling a call. That means sending them the information. That means understanding what they need from the organization. All of those things are happening. So here's what ought to be really simple. Here are the solutions that we provide for your company based on the problems that you have or the opportunities you seek to identify, to solve or to address, right? Here's the good side. Here's how we can help you take advantage of the opportunity. Here's how we help you from, the bad guys closing your business down. Here are the specific solutions we provide in those areas. Here's how much it costs. Do you want to do it or not? Needs to be, go through that sequence and see how you can simplify your pricing, how you can simplify the narrative and the value proposition, right? And then you simplify the way you go to market with those people. That's how you make it easier. The number one thing to address are your dues levels. They're way too archaic. They are not based on the market at all. And it's based on some group of very well-meaning, probably dead white men 50 years ago that decided this is what the structure looks like. And it's totally not relevant to today. So it's time to modernize and right-size that kind of function. But you've got to look at your data and see where everybody pans out right now. This also gets to another issue about mergers and acquisitions. We see a lot of that in industry right now. Companies buying each other. In fact, often large companies buying each other. And what happens at the association? They have a membership cap at a certain level. So there's all sorts of money being left on the table because you haven't modernized the membership due structure. That would be the first thing I would consider. And the data is going to tell you how to simplify and what the right levels should be. You will also see if you've got to move people from one section or one segment to another and their dues go up, let's say 10 to 15%, you can mark those and determine how you're going to have the conversation with that member company and how you're going to bring them up to the new dues level. It may take 1 to 2 years. Hey, we realize it's a big jump, but we've got to modernize our system here so we can sustain the association long term. Therefore, we're going to implement 30% of it this year, 60% the year 2, and we'll bring you to the full dues level in year 3. That might be a way you approach it. So that's how you simplify your dues structure. That's how you, what was the other? That's how you kind of come up with your revenue goals and your dues goals and your new membership recruitment goals. Hope that's helpful. Send me your questions for next week, and we'll take them on live here on Facebook Live. Ask JP. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.